Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about finding the midpoint of two certain points on a coordinate plane. So if you're given 2 points, so let's say x1 comma y1 and then x2 comma y2, the midpoint is technically just the point that's in the center of both. So let's just draw a mini little coordinate graph here at the bottom. Let's say we have this point and this point. When you draw a line through these points, the midpoint would basically be the center point, so around approximately there. Now, you could always do it approximately, but now we're going to be using algebra or a certain formula to be able to find the midpoint. So let's say you have 2 points, x1 comma y1 and x2 comma y2. The midpoint formula is pretty simple. You just add both the x's and divide by 2, and add both the y's and divide by 2. So your final answer will be in the form of coordinate points, so x3 comma y3 or something like that. That's why they're given in brackets with a comma in between. So let's move on to some examples. So this is our first example. We're going to find the midpoint, or the point in the center of -5 comma 7 and 3 comma 2. So let's use our formula. I'm going to write our formula right over here just so we have it handy. So it's add both the x's, divide by 2, and add both the y's and divide by 2. Okay, so what we have to first acknowledge is which value is our x1 and x2 and so on and such forth. So -5 is x1, -3 would be x2, because let's just say this is your first coordinate and this is your second coordinate. Again, it doesn't matter which coordinate you choose to be which. This one could be 1 or this one could be 2. It really just does not matter. But for the sake of simplicity, we're just going to use the first one as 1. That means this one will be y1 and this one will be y2. So if we substitute all of this in our formula, we're going to get -5 plus 3 over 2, comma, 7 plus 2 over 2. This will simplify to -2 over 2, comma, 9 over 2, which our final answer can be written as -1, comma, 9 over 2. So that means that our final answer for the midpoint is -1, comma, 9 over 2. So that point is the center point between the 2 points, -5, comma, 7 and 3, comma, 2. So here's our next example. We're going to find the midpoint between 5, comma, 6 and 7, comma, 6. So one thing you can first tell is that both the y values are the same. So this is x1, this is y1, this is x2, and this is y2. Again, I chose this as coordinate number 1 and this as coordinate number 2. Now, if you draw this on a coordinate plane, let's just do this. You'll find 0.5 comma 6 to show up around, let's say this is 6 and this is 5, and then we have 7 over here. So then this would be 7 comma 6. You can kind of see that they're both on the same line. So the midpoint would technically just be the point in the center of that, so around here. Now, since between 5 and 7 you can get 6, you can kind of just say that 6 comma 6 is the center. But as I said before, you always want to be sure which is accurate. So we're going to basically just put it back inside the formula to see if our answer was actually correct. So we have to do x1 plus x2 over 2. So x1 is 5, x2 is 7 over 2, comma 6 plus 6 over 2, and this simplifies to 12 over 2, comma 12 over 2, and as I said before, our final answer is 6 comma 6. Let's do one last example. Okay, so for our last example, we're going to take -11 comma 3 as coordinate number 1 and 12 comma 9 as coordinate number 2, and now we're going to segregate our x's and our y's. So this would be x1, 3 would be y1, 12 would be x2, and 9 would be y2. So let's substitute all of this into our formula. Again, it's at the top right in case you forgot, but it's just adding both the x's, so -11 plus 12 over 2, and then adding both the y's, so 3 plus 9 over 2. This will simplify to 1 over 2, and then 12 over 2. And our final answer will be 1 over 2, comma 6. So if you can't tell, all I basically did was wrote x1 plus x2, and then y1 plus y2. I added both, so -12 plus, negative 11 plus 12 is equal to 1, which is over here. 9 plus 3 is equal to 12, which is over here. And then I just divided both by 2, and I left the 1 over 2 as it is because we really don't need to simplify that, giving our final answer as 1 over 2, comma 6. So that's the midpoint. As I said before, comment down below any questions, and that's it.